now, just to get these guys out of the way, I'm just going to move the muscles. Get rid of our gracilis and our sartorius here. Okay. And basically what's going to happen is, as we see these guys are going to be basically continuations of those iliacs. And so you can see here that my iliac is going to come out and it's going to branch into my deep femoral and into my femoral. So what you see here, this blood vessel right here, the red one, is the femoral. Not the deep femoral, but just the plain old femoral. Okay, now we're going to come down here, right around where my pectineus is. And you remember that pectineus was that little bitty muscle, right? Okay, so here in the body wall, we can see, I'm going to cut right up in here. Now there is my iliac way up in here. That's a big old piece of fat. I'm going to get rid of it. Okay. Alright, so here's my iliac. And you can trace it all the way back up here, back up into the abdominal cavity, way back up in there. So there's my iliac. As it comes down out into the leg, it now becomes the femoral. And right here, just around where that pectineus is, that little tiny muscle right here, and this is really good, right there. Okay, you can see that here, this is my external iliac right in here, and then you can see the branch as it's coming down right here going toward my pectineus, and that's going to be my deep femoral artery right here. Then here at this fork in the road here, the one coming down my leg is going to be my femoral artery. Okay? Now, let's see. Along with my deep femoral artery is a vein. And my deep femoral vein is this little guy that's following right along right next to him right here. So there's my deep femoral vein. Deep femoral artery, deep femoral vein. Okay? You can bleed out in a matter of minutes if the femoral artery is cut. And there's not anybody there that can stop the bleeding. So you can bleed out in a matter of minutes. Okay, so there's my femorals. Coming down out of my leg is going to be the saphenous. Okay, so here at this point, we're going to see another fork in the road here. We're going to see the saphenous and the popliteal. So it's the femoral until we branch again. And here is that branching point right here. Okay, this blood vessel, okay, we've got just a lot of fascia and tissue kind of coming up around in here. So you can see the femorals here, femoral artery, femoral vein. Then we're going to see a branch that comes down here and another fork in the road that's going to go back behind my leg. This big one that's going to go back behind my leg, this one is the popliteal. Okay? This is my saphenous right here. The saphenous vein and the saphenous artery. The little tiny vein is my saphenous artery, and this is my saphenous vein and artery I'm holding in my forceps here. Saphenous vein is the one that's most often cut and used in bypass surgery. So when they do a bypass and they make a new vessel to reroute it, they usually grab the saphenous vein to use to graft it up here to make the bypass. Alright, so we're going to follow my popliteal. And this is we're going to dig deep down in here, and it goes back behind the leg. And so we're just going to come in here and we're going to do some more removal of muscle. Okay. can see that here goes my popliteal right here. This is my popliteal I have in my forceps right here. And we are going to go down and down. Oh, there it is. Yep, okay. Here, I gotta find it. This back end here. Okay, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna cut the sciatic. I don't need that anymore. I lose all feeling in the lower part of his leg. Well, okay. This doesn't want to come off. Where are we here? All right. It's being difficult. All right, there's my popliteal. Coming around back here. Okay, now this guy here. Make sure I have the right spot here. Yep, okay. Now, sciatic, where's my other? Okay. Now if we flip them back over here in the back, got one of them that's missing. That's the problem. Is I'm going to split. That popliteal is going to split, and I can see the nub of where it was attached to this little guy right here. And so I've got two that are going to split, and it's going to be what's called the posterior tibial and the anterior tibial. My posterior tibial is the one that's going to be lateral. Okay, so it's this guy here, that's this little nub right here. It's the fork in the road. So this one's missing here. It got snapped off. There's my popliteal. Here's my branching. One branch is going to go off over here to the side. That's going to be the lateral branch, which is the posterior tibial. This one's going to go to the front of the leg up here, and this is the anterior tibial. So you want to look for where that popliteal makes a branch. And it's been popped right here, and I actually might have popped it by mistake. But this little nubbin right there is going to be the one that's the posterior tibial. He's going to go back over here to the back. Then I've got this branch coming forward to the front of the leg, which is going to be the anterior tibial. Okay? And that's it.